Hi, my name is Nicholas with Misty Peak Teas, and today I'm going to describe how to prepare Pu'er tea. It'll be very simple from start to finish. Now, I've seen some of the other videos online, and there's some information that might be confusing, so I'm going to do my best to describe to you exactly how to prepare it, using su cha and seng cha. Now we're going to use what you use here in China, called the Gong Fu method, using a pot just like this to prepare the tea. Or if you don't have that, of course you could always use a Gai Wan, but it's not going to bring out the full potential that a pot would. Now if you don't have either of these and you're trying to make it at your stove with a big pot or a pan or something like that, it's really best to invest in a Gai Wan or a pot like this. It'll really bring out the full potential of the Pu'er. Now there's 4 different kinds of Pu'er. Mao cha, which is loose leaf tea, Seng cha, which is raw or green tea, Su cha, which is artificially aged Seng cha, and then of course aged Seng cha, which is 5, 10, 30 plus years old Seng cha. But what I teach you today will be able to be applied to all different kinds of Pu'er, and maybe even other kinds of tea. But I encourage you to try your own methods after trying this, and see what you like. Maybe vary the temperatures of water, or the utensils that you use, or the water that you use. Continue trying different things and see what you like best. Now understand that your tea experience and tea taste will greatly depend on the utensils that you use. A Gai Wan like this is used to replace a pot and is very easy to use and most common in China. You could also sip out of it if you'd like. Let me first show you how to prepare Seng cha. Seng cha will often come like this, tightly compressed into one cake. At this point you want to use your Pu'er knife to separate the tea. Remember, you're not breaking apart the leaves. If you break the leaves, it'll change the taste and the looks of the tea. Simply separate the tea by loosening it and then gently pulling apart leaves until you get the desired amount. This here is about 5 grams of tea. Should you want the tea stronger or have more people sitting with you, simply add more tea leaves in the beginning instead of relying on the steeping time to make your tea stronger. At this point, we're going to awaken the leaves with water. Water temperature and water quality are the single most important variables in making tea. A water too hot or too cold or not up to the right standards of quality can greatly impair the potential of your tea. Very simply, use spring water at about 200 degrees, which is usually steaming. That's the rule of thumb for water. Now, just as you would wash out your vegetables at the market, we also want you to wash out your teas. This applies to all teas, of course. About 5 seconds is plenty. After that, go ahead and add more hot water. Mix the leaves to get them brewed better, and maybe dump it out one more time. This also gets rid of some of the caffeine content in the leaves, if that's what you desire. Now, many Chinese do not drink Pu'er until the 2nd or 3rd or maybe even 5th steep. This is the 2nd steep. We're still washing the leaves and waking them up, as they're very, very dry. You'll really start to see the character of the tea unfold after the 3rd steep, but feel free to try it before that as well. Steeping time. This is a wonderful example when personal preference plays a role. Note that Pu'er tea, unlike green tea or oolong tea, has the ability to be steeped many times, upwards of 30 or 40 times per small pot. Each of your steeping times should be about 5 to 10 seconds long, but of course feel free to go longer or shorter and see how you like the way it tastes. Each subsequent steeping after the first few should be a little bit longer. Keep steeping it as long as you would like, maybe even until it turns into water again. But do feel free to play around with steeping times and with the amounts of tea. Notice how much difference there is in a longer steeping time with a little bit of tea or a lot of tea with a little bit of steeping time. See which one you like. Now we have finished the brewing of Seng cha. Notice the leaves. Take them out, touch them, feel them. This is a big leaf called Da Yi. This is how tea leaves should look. A beautiful, bright, vibrant, yellow, goldish color. Not cloudy, with no particles in it. And slowly pour your tea. Now that we understand how to make seng cha, let's try su cha. Su cha is the cooked version of seng cha. The preparation is much the same, and of course you can try your own preparation methods. Pu'er su cha comes in nuggets or in compressed cakes like you saw before. Go ahead and get about 5 to 7 grams of this and place it into your gaiwan. Pour boiling water over the tea. Now of course, depending on the quality of the su cha that you have, this process will be a little bit different. But you always want to wash your leaves for about 5 seconds in the beginning. This steeping is not to be drank, it's simply to wash and awaken the leaves. Now depending on the quality of your su cha, you'll notice a great difference in the color of the liquid after the first steeping. Your liquid should never be dark like soy sauce or cloudy, especially after the first, second, or third steeping. Now most Chinese don't drink su cha until the 4th or 5th steeping, when the true character really comes out, and you clean the tea properly to get some of the taste out of it that you may not like. Now this is the 2nd steeping, still dark, but not too dark, and you can still see through it a little bit. If you're interested, feel free to try one of the first couple steepings. You may like it. To help your tea brew, no matter what tea it is, you always want to toss it around a little bit like this. Now notice the change in color of this tea. The true beauty is really coming out of it. This is the color that su cha should be. Never black, never cloudy, simply a velvet burgundy color. Understand any other color, if it's really dark, could even be hazardous, as it may have not been processed correctly or carefully. Let's steep it again and see what happens. Now please understand that the reason it's this color is not because it's running out of flavor or losing its character. It's simply because it's quality su cha. This is a very expensive 1994 Munghai su cha. If I were to steep it just a little bit longer, you would notice that it still holds that deep character. In fact, this steeping is done after about 3 minutes, and you can notice the darker character. But it's still just as wonderful in taste. Play around with steeping times and see what you like. To really appreciate your tea and the work put into it, sometimes it's fun to take the leaves out after you finish drinking and really inspect them. This way you can learn a lot about your teas. Of course, always clean your filters after you finish. That way your next tea won't taste like your last tea. Now you know how to make su cha and seng cha. The seng cha you saw here is completely organic and picked from 500-year-old trees. Of course, it's available on our website, mistypeakteas.com. Thank you so much for watching. Should you have any questions or maybe any videos you want to see in the future, please email us. We have several other videos available and several more coming. Thank you so much.